I need to get some air horns back.
Yeah.
Do you remember whenever we got like halfway? Well, I say halfway. There's not really a halfway into our podcast, but once we got like 50 episodes deep, I started building the button bar.
Yeah.
Dude, I miss that button bar so bad.
Yeah. Maybe we invest in that. God damn it.
Invest in what?
That podcasting board that I showed you is like $250.
Yeah. And it has sound effects, like you can load sound effects and stuff.
It has its own personal button bar on there.
And another thing, I kind of like I like doing these live streams because we get interaction from people listening. But I want to I was looking at our YouTube channel the other day, and our old stuff looks so much better. Like, granted, it was more work because we were setting up 2 cameras and cutting the audio and all that. But it's so good.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what we got. So
yeah,
this is where we're at. I want to touch
until you move to Texas.
Until I move to Texas.
Yeah,
dude, I got to tell you, I wouldn't mind Texas, but it would have to be
either Austin or San Antonio.
It would be I can't make a fair judgment on San Antonio because I've never been to San Antonio, but off the rip right now, I would think it would either be Austin or Dallas, but I need to come visit San Antonio because
I've never been to Dallas, but everyone here, at least in San Antonio, is like, fuck Dallas.
Really?
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, like Dallas, everyone's like, that's where all the yuppies live.
I would do Austin. I've only been to Austin a couple of times.
My washer's going off for some reason. It's like beeping.
Your washer?
Yeah.
All right, go check on it.
Riff for a sec.
So for those of you that don't know, Miho, we talked about this on the past couple of podcasts. He just bought a new house. So he's having homeowner issues. His washer's beeping at him. But if you look at the title, because we're going to talk about the flip challenge. If you look at the title of today's episode, it's called Flip Challenge, Flip Flop. And that's because I already, out of my $600, took an L. I haven't even told Miho this yet. So I was telling people that did you see what I titled this episode?
No, it only says 147.
So there's a title on it, and it's
Flip Challenge, Flip Flop.
Flip Challenge, Flip Flop, because I took an L off of one of the investments that I made. And well, actually, I didn't take an L. I did take an L. I took an L for learning. I didn't actually lose the money because I got it back, but I didn't make any profit. So do you remember a couple weeks ago whenever I went to the Adidas outlet?
Yeah.
So I went to the Adidas outlet
last week, right? 2 weeks ago?
It was it was 2 weeks ago. I went to the Adidas outlet and I walked in there thinking I know everything. And I'm like looking at these apps, like what do these shoes sell for? Because in those outlet stores, you get everything for over 50% off. Like you pay $20-$30 for a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And so I'm going through this Adidas outlet and I'm scanning this app called GOAT. It's like the shoe reselling. And I'm looking up all these SKU numbers for these shoes. And I'm like, oh my God, these shoes are going for $130. And like they're on sale for like $30.
Yeah.
So I'm like swooping up all these shoes and everything. And then I get home and I list them and everything. I'm like, man, I'm about to double my money. And one of the mistakes that I made was I was looking on GOAT instead of StockX. And StockX tells you real life current bids of what people have or like what they'll pay for the shoe. So I get home and I list everything and I'm like, yeah, man.
Do you list them on both or just on one?
I listed them on GOAT and then I listed them on Facebook Marketplace. And then I'm a part of this Saginaw garage sale site or whatever on Facebook. So I listed them all there. And so a week goes by and I was like, man, I haven't had any bites on these. When I know it takes time.
Yeah.
But then I go go to the Adidas website, and the shoes that I bought for $30 are on sale for like 45. So like, I'm like, man, nobody, because I had them listed at 130, then I dropped them down to 100. And I was like, man, nobody's gonna pay $100 for a pair of shoes when they can literally go to the Adidas website and get them for 45.
So now
So
you have 2 pairs of shoes.
So I went and I got the receipt, and I took those 3 pairs of shoes back and got my money back.
Oh, so you
So
didn't really lose.
yeah, no, but it was just one of those. It was like a learning experience, because if I would have looked them up on StockX, I would have seen the actual bids that the shoe's going for, and it said like $50, which after you ship the shoe and all that, it's like, and the time that it takes, like, go get them, ship it, go to the post office. So you're making $20
I'm glad you kept the receipt.
Yeah. And they're like not even like shoes in my size.
Yeah.
I was like going through and seeing like the highest number. So I had to update the spreadsheet. So I got my money back.
I haven't even seen the spreadsheet.
I got my money back, which I think I spent $120 on 3 pairs of shoes. Got that money back. And then with that 100, I decided to straight up blind dive into investing in stocks because I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But I got you on that train too. And so we're just kind of swinging in the dark.
Yeah. So you downloaded the Robinhood app, and I remember having the Robinhood app years ago. I never bought anything. Yeah, I was still in college. So it was like, I don't know how old the company, maybe it was a different one, like Acorns or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of Acorns.
Yeah. And I never bought anything or did anything with it. I would just like mess with it. So it's been a couple years. And I used to have like a brokerage account when I was like right out of high school. My mom wanted me to learn. So I used to trade stocks when I was like 18, 19, 20.
Like penny stocks?
No, like stocks. Like I had stock in United. I had stock in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I remember I had stuff, but me being 18, 19, I was like, thanks. Oh, what is this new format? I like these comments.
It's cool, right? It's a little bit, they switched it up.
But
Bobby, we'll get into that in a second.
But being 19 or 18, 19, 20, like I was like, yeah, I want to go out and party. So I like, sold my stocks, got my money, pulled it out, and then soon enough I had zero in my brokerage account. And I was like, well, I guess I'll close it.
Yeah.
I'm, working a gas station job for pennies or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm not going to put whatever money I make back into my broker. I was a young, dumb kid, But now we both have
penny stocks and flipping sneakers, big baller brand.
So yeah, we both have the Robinhood app, and you invested $100.
Yeah, so I put the 100 that I got back from the shoes that I didn't sell.
Yeah,
and put it into this Robinhood app, and I bought 10 shares. So you saw what Bobby said. So I was talking with Bobby. I'm trying to get him on this Robinhood app too, but he's having the same issue that you're having.
Yeah,
with linking your bank account to it.
No, so the thing is, I got my bank account linked, and so I'm trying to transfer the funds, like whether it's $50 or 100 or 200 into my Robinhood account, but I can't. Every time I go like deposit funds, it tells me to link my bank, but my bank is linked.
Weird.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have like a support.
Well, the thing is, like so I hit Wells Fargo. That's my bank.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not letting me go through like their regular app. So I have to enter my routing and checking account number manually, which I did. So
yeah, that's what Bobby said. He did it manually now and it works.
Yeah, I did it manually, but I still can't transfer my funds. Like I'm curious and I can't find the button. Like it says deposit funds. And then it tells me to link my bank account again. I'm like, what the hell? I did it already.
That's weird because like as soon as I linked mine, I clicked on my bank account and I put in $100 and it worked instantly.
I'll try it one more time right now.
All right, while you're doing that,
checkbook.
So you get your routing number and stuff.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, one of the things that I was talking with Bobby about. So I told Bobby to ask Daryl, who is very versed in this stuff. Like he knows about stocks and all this stuff and what's worthwhile. So I told Bobby to ask him. I said,
Yeah,
if you had
it says there-
$100,
It says error. Your bank account is already linked, so I don't know where the button is now to transfer the funds, which is super frustrating.
that is frustrating. Let me see here. Buying power. So go to like the main page of your app, and do you see where it says buying power? It should say 0 on yours.
Yeah.
Like right here. So click on.
There we go.
Yeah,
All
click
right.
on buying power, and then click deposit funds. God, it's like I'm teaching a boomer how to do.
See, it's asking me the same thing again.
Oh, once you click on deposit funds,
Yeah.
dude, that's weird because it just goes right here to me.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Anyway, Daryl.
Yeah, so I said, if you were gonna throw just $100 at a stock, what would it be? And he sent me some info on BlackBerry, which kind of like caught me off guard because when was the last time you heard about BlackBerry, you know?
Yeah.
And so I guess it's like, look, they're doing, I just kind of skimmed the articles. I don't really know what they're doing, but it sounds profitable.
Yeah.
So I bought 10 shares of BlackBerry for, I think they were like $5 or $6 a piece. So I threw $75 at it. That's how much you can get 10 shares of BlackBerry for. And that $75 right now is at 130.
Nice.
So in 2 days, I mean, I could cash out right now and have doubled my money, but why not leave it in there and see if it like explodes?
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not in this world at all, but like when I think of things that aren't like so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Volatile, I guess, like things that can go up or down like super quick, like Tesla sometimes just like drops or some,
Yeah.
So I was looking at a stock this morning, which was General Electric, which everyone's like, oh yeah, washing machines, dryers, and fucking air conditioners. But I was thinking like they make a lot of engines for airplanes. And I was thinking, yo, with the airline industry coming back, hopefully this year with the vaccine, like they might go up. So I was trying to buy some stocks because right now their stocks are super low.
Yeah, like $11.
Yeah, and I was reading articles this morning, like the airline industry is like ready to bounce back. And I was like, well, like now would be the time to get a couple shares of GE, or even I was looking at Rolls-Royce because they also make airplane engines, like, or even United or Delta or whoever.
Oh God. See, dude, this is one of those things, like whenever I see stuff like that, like just you talking about GE and then I look at it and it's $11 for a stock. This is one of those things where like I just wish I had more capital because the more that you throw at it, the more you're going to get out of it. It's it's like gambling. And I honestly probably shouldn't have started this because I get addicted to things. I get addicted to literally everything.
Yeah.
Working out.
Have you seen the movie Wall Street? It's like a 1990s movie.
Oh, I saw The Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, kind of similar concept, but like it's called Wall Street and has Michael Douglas. It was like one of his like major roles in like the late 80s, early 90s. And it's about this whole like concept of like flipping shit and like you get money and then it's power and you buy more and you buy more. Same with Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Right.
And then at some point, like your own personal ego bubble busts and you invest in something and you lose all the money or you lose somebody else's money because now you're an investor, right? Like you're throwing money. You're like, yeah, I'll take your money and I'll invest it because you're the guru now. And
I would never do that with someone else's money.
And they made a sequel like 2012 or whatever. It's like with Shia LaBeouf. It's like Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, and it's like he gets mentored by Michael Douglas, and it's like same thing, same premise essentially.
Oh, dude, and it's like whenever you watch movies like that, like I remember watching Wolf of Wall Street and watching, it's like the climb. It's like when you get to a certain point, you as you're watching it, you're like, why not just stop? Just stop right now. You have more money than you'll ever spend in your life. Just stop, walk away, and go live on a beach somewhere.
But it's not about the money.
No, yeah. At a certain point, it's not about the money. It's about the ego and like the power. And you can sit there and watch it on a movie all day and be like, oh man, I'd get to $1 million and I'd walk away. But I can just tell from, as silly as it sounds, I can tell from turning that $75 into $130, just that feeling that gave me.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine like working on the level that like the actual Wall Street people are. To where they invest $1 million in something, and then the next day or like the next month they have $10 million. They cash out and put that in something. It gives me a heart attack. It would give me a heart attack.
Yeah,
But I want to be there.
Yeah. We were.
Hold on. If you can hear me, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mijo? I didn't hear anything you said for the past 30 seconds. Here's what we need to do for while you're working to get your thing back on. What you need to do is you need to sell that. You need to flip that computer. You need to flip that computer because I don't know what's causing this. I think this happened last week too. Can you hear me? Like, give me a thumbs up. You can hear me? Okay. Yeah, it just started stuttering out again. We need some Jeopardy music. And I'm also wondering why, I guess while you're trying to figure that out, I'll figure out why our names aren't showing up. Because our names are usually down here. If anyone that's watching right now invests, whether it be penny stocks or just if you interact with the stock market at all, what are some things that you've learned along the way? How long have you been doing it, and what are some things that you've learned? Because you can read articles all day. And we'll see if we can pop him back in here.
All right, I'm on my big computer. Like,
there you go. Yeah, you got to flip that thing, dude.
I mean, this thing is obviously worth jack nothing.
What?
I'm worth nothing.
Dude, you could get a couple $100 out of it.
Yeah, but I need a new one. I need it for work. And Macs nowadays, like, even a basic Mac is like $2,000.
Yeah. And those desktops are like ridiculous. Like, you could buy a used car for that.
Yeah, the new desktops, like, I think me and my brother did it. If you maxed out their new, because now it's like not even a Mac like this, it's like you get a screen for the tower, and if you maxed out the tower, it's like $80,000.
What do you need an $80,000 computer for?
I mean, if you're making, you can essentially edit and do everything for a new Star Wars film. Like, these new computers are just insane.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing before I forget. One thing. Since we're talking about the flip stuff, have you ever heard of cook groups?
No.
So, this is a new thing that I'm learning about as well. It's kind of. Have you heard of Discord?
Yes.
Okay. So
I was just on Discord the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I did one of those other master debaters like segment things that I liked where we debate stupid topics.
And you put it on Discord?
Yeah, we record on Discord. It's an interesting, similar to like Twitch. It's just another streaming platform where you can kind of like stream already. Well, obviously it's not a visual platform. I don't think it is.
So I'm using Discord for a different reason. So cook groups. So basically it's these.
I lost, by the way. I came in last place.
What do you mean?
In the master debaters? Because I did it like a couple months ago and I came in first place. I was the
You'll have
mouse.
to show me what this is. I don't know it.
I'll get you connected with my homie, and you could be on the next episode. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it
So
takes like an hour of your time, and it's just stupid topics, dude. It's so much fun.
okay.
But I came in last. I was like, damn it.
It's all right. You came in last doing that. You came in last in fantasy. It's a
I'm
theme.
gonna lose all my money flipping.
No, you're not. Okay, hold on. So cook groups. So I recently found out about Discord, recently found out about cook groups, and basically what a cook group is, there are some free ones, there are some where you pay per month, whether it's $50, $100, depending on what kind of cook group it is. And all of these people, like, I don't know how they get this information, or like how they get these like bots and stuff set up, but like you pay to be a part of this cook group, and they have people on there that tell you, I don't know if they're hacking, but they tell you like where, like, so they have different, think of it as like different like rooms, I guess. You can go to like sneaker flipping room, Walmart, Target, like all this like retail,
Kind of like Reddit. Like Reddit has different rooms,
and it basically, so like if you go to the sneaker one, you can pay. It's like, on the sneakers app, like it's like a crapshoot. It's like you try for the shoes. If you get them, then you get them. If not, then not.
Yeah.
But there's these things that you can pay for. So like on big payoffs, like these SB Dunk lows that are coming up in a couple days, ones that have like big profit like that, you on these cook groups, you can buy for $10. You can buy a bot, essentially, that like gives you 10, 15, 20 times more of a chance of scoring those shoes, and you pay $10 for it. So if you hit, then you pay the 10, and if you don't, then you don't.
Yeah.
And on a release to where it's like hundreds of dollars worth of profit, it's like $10. Why not?
Yeah.
So you can do that on there. They'll tell you like one of the ones that I saw was actually a buddy sent this to me. I won't say his name because I don't know the legality on this one. I got sent a link to Target's website, and where you buy their gift cards. They had the pricing mixed up. So if you clicked on $200 gift card, you got it for $100. If you clicked on $100, you got it for $200. So I tried to buy a couple of the 200 ones for $100, but by the time that the link had gotten to me, it had already been fixed.
Yeah.
But my buddy bought like $500 worth of the.
Is this the same buddy that, like, I know him, right?
I think you know him. I'll protect his identity on this podcast.
Gotcha.
Because, like I said, with that one, I don't know like how legal it is for someone to like
is this
post that.
Is this the same buddy who also did the other trick with the sex toys?
Well, I'll tell you who it is after the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like they have stuff like that all over these things, to where I guess if you're utilizing it, like say you didn't have like a full-time job and you were just like, oh my God, okay, I got to make some money, paying for a cook group, whether it's $50, $60 a month, whatever it is, and just spending what you would be spending your 8 hours a day at an office doing, following up on all this stuff. I mean, you have the potential to make a lot of money. Yeah. So I'm a part of a few free cook groups, which obviously with the free ones, you're not getting as much.
Is that an app or is it a website?
It's through Discord. Oh. So like you got your Discord app, and then one of the ones I'm on is called House of Dubs, and the other one is Swish Accounts. It's super weird. I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate like this Discord app, but all of these are through Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So you have the Discord app?
I think maybe.
If you do, I'll send you a link to that free one that I'm on, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
It's just another app. We were talking about that the other day.
God, yeah, it's just another. Let's talk about this Clubhouse app.
Oh yeah.
So we're done with the flipping talk right now. This is we're transitioning into, I guess this is social media talk. So there's a new. Well, is it new? I don't know how long this has been around.
Clubhouse has been around for I think like 2 or 3 years.
No shit.
But it wasn't really doing anything. Nobody wanted to be on it, and then, um, I mean, it is what it is that like the black community found a use for it, and they made it hella popular, essentially, and so yeah, now everybody wants to be on Clubhouse, and essentially Clubhouse is like similar to Discord or like Facebook Messenger, where you can create these rooms and you could have topics, and some of them are super ratchet, talking about like sex lives or kinky things, and some of them are like super um like informative. And there's moderators who like that's their specific room, and like everybody knows that this person moderates this room, and every day there's a different topic. And if you want to participate, you like raise your hand in there, and they like move you up to the top of the list, and you get to like speak your opinion and things like that. And so there's like rooms in there where it's finance. There's rooms in there where you could have like free guided meditation instead of like buying those like calm apps that you see on Instagram, like where it's like meditating.
So I guess I'm just trying
to. There's cooking rooms where like you learn new recipes, and like they guide you through like cooking a new meal and things like that. It's kind of cool. But I've been trying to get on it because like there's just a lot of hip hop artists that are on there, and they're always talking about music and like the industry. Like I was in a room the other day while I was making breakfast, or I was making my coffee, and there was a room with a bunch of like industry A&Rs. Like there was somebody from Capitol, somebody from Warner, somebody from I think radio.com, or not radio, Dash FM. And they were just talking like about, the industry and like how they find artists, and like somebody asked a question like, what do you look for an artist? And they went through that, and then somebody else was like, who do you, like, regardless of your label, like who are you looking at right now? And somebody's like, well, like I really like this person that's on this label. I think they got a good find. And I was like, really cool to like the barrier, the competition was down. It's like they got a great person on their label. They're, hopefully they work them well. And
so this is like because I haven't really, you sent me the invite for it, because it's kind of cool that it's an invite base only.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart, because if you remember, that's how Facebook started out. At one point you had to have like a MIT, or not MIT.
You gotta have a college email.
Yale or wherever the fuck they were at. You had to have like a .edu, one of those things, and then it expanded out.
Yeah,
slowly.
I was definitely an early adopter of Facebook. Like when they finally opened it up, I was like, I'm on this.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out what, like, as the everyday user, because all these apps are competing for your competition, right? Or your not your competition. They're competing for your attention.
Yeah.
So what is this? So you open up Discord, or not? There's so many fucking apps. You open up Clubhouse, and what you just find a room. You say, okay, I'm learning how to play guitar, so I'm clicking on this guitar room, and they're teaching me how to play.
Yeah. So
Sweet Child of Mine or something.
Yeah. So it's like right now there's.
So this is like a learning app.
It's a learning app. It's like, or just like just to hear topics that like maybe you'll just like to discuss things. Like there's a homie of mine who, whenever I go visit him in Boise, he's one of my oldest friends. We're in the same dorms. Like whenever I see him, like we just debate. It's like lively debate. We're never mad at each other. He has very different beliefs than I do. And like this is an app where you get people from around the world discussing certain topics. Like there's a topic right now, like why are people so hard on Black owned businesses? And it's like, well, I didn't think of that. Maybe I'll go into this group and like maybe inform myself on like these Black entrepreneurs, like why is this a room, and why are they discussing it? And
so is it video based? Is it?
No, it's audio based.
It's just audio. So you click on it and you hear it's like you're listening to like a TED Talk or like a podcast or something.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's another room called The Power of Social Media. So I'm in there, and
hi, this is Tatiana. It's hard not
like one of the moderators, his name is Dan, and he's the founder of a social media agency, and he has all these things, and he's a millionaire. And it's like you have access to people who are entrepreneurs that you might not have access to on a normal basis, and they're speaking to you versus like watching a TED Talk.
Sure. So this is like this is interesting.
Yeah. And then there's another one in there. She's a fitness guru. And it's like, well, she's built a following. She's a CEO. Like, she owns her business. She makes millions of dollars. Like, she's talking to you and giving you advice if you want to be a fitness entrepreneur.
So is that kind of like what we're doing right now? Is it live? So is it like if I'm gonna get on there and I'm gonna do I schedule and say, hey, at 3:00 on Saturday, I'm going live?
You could schedule rooms.
And do they save? So like if I wanted to, like if we wanted to do a podcast on there, does it save and people can just look at it anytime they want? Or is it like only while
I could create a room, I'd be the moderator, I'd make you a moderator, and we could do a podcast and we could have people interact with us instead of doing a podcast on StreamYard. I mean, it won't save to like an actual. Oh, that's what you're saying. Does it save to like?
Yeah. Does it save?
I don't think no.
So once you create the content, then after you're done, it goes away.
Close the room. Yeah.
Okay. And you can't just have like, okay, here's our room, and then here's episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No.
Okay.
We can't upload anything. So it's kind of like Snapchat.
So you got to catch it live.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you miss the room, like there's like daily morning shows, like there's radio shows on here. They're like, yo, we're doing a radio show, and they play music because there's like, it's invite only. What is like UMG going to come into Clubhouse and be like, you can't play our music? It's like, well, this is a live thing. Like,
wow.
I'm sitting in my room right now. Like,
wow. Okay. Yeah. Cause if we were to play music on here right now, we would get popped, but on that we could.
Yeah. And ultimately, like, I don't think any of these rooms or anything is monetized at this moment. So it's, even if they're like, well, you're playing our music, it's like, well, we're not making any money off our room. You know,
yeah.
There's no one sponsoring our podcast on here.
But again, is that a publicly traded?
I don't think so. I think it's still in development. Like, again, they haven't opened it up to the public. It's invite only still, so it's like super interesting.
I wonder if that would be
like Joe Budden. Like, Joe Budden is in a room right now, and it's super. Like, you could hear what Joe Budden's talking about. India Marie, she's an R&B artist. She's in a room right now. Meek Mill is on here a lot. 21 Savage loves this. Like, you could hear 21 Savage asking questions. It's like, I could talk to 21 Savage tonight if I wanted to. Like, what? Like,
that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah,
dude.
A couple weeks ago, it popped off on Twitter because there was a theater troupe that people, I think they had a Patreon set up like in the room, or like they were shouting out their Patreon, and it was like a black theater troupe from Broadway, and they did the whole Lion King musical on Clubhouse.
Weird.
And people were like, donate to the Patreon, support the arts. Like, we don't have a gig right now because Broadway's still shut down, so we're going to perform Lion King musical. And they changed their avatars, like your pictures. So like whoever like the scene was, they changed all their graphics. It was really interesting to watch, like on Twitter, because I wasn't on it at that point.
So you can have graphics and stuff up while you're just no video?
No, like everybody, like your picture, right?
Like,
all the artists who were performing were changing their pictures depending on the scene. So when like Mufasa, alert, when Mufasa died,
what?
When Mufasa dies, like everybody's like graphics were changing. They were updating it in real time to the scene of The Lion King. It was really cool to watch on Twitter. I was like, what is going on?
So my question to you is, should we every Saturday, whenever we do this, should we do it on Discord? Should we do it on that app too?
Like, just have it set up and just have the phone sitting right next to the mic?
Yeah, just have the phone sitting right here.
We could.
Because that might be a way to pull people in either way. Well, I guess you have to have an invite for Clubhouse, but it might be able
Should
to
we
pull.
set up a
pull up-
Patreon? Should people start supporting our podcast?
Should we do that? I think we should.
People could donate.
Is it free to set one of those up?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that after this, and we'll set one up.
I mean, if we're talking about hustling.
Hey, if we're talking about asking for money,
Yeah.
isn't it funny, dude? Isn't it funny? Like you can. This is kind of funny to me. You can stand on the street on a corner and hold up a sign that says "Need money" or "God bless" or whatever that says, and people look at you like, "Oh, look at this bum. He doesn't have a job." Blah 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 blah. The
Mhm.
stigma of being homeless. But if you take that online and make a Patreon or an OnlyFans, well, I guess OnlyFans, you're working.
But
But
even
with,
with
like,
Patreon, like
You're just asking for money though.
yeah.
Even when with like the Kickstarters and stuff like that, you're literally asking people for money. But
Yeah.
because it's on the internet, people aren't like, "Oh, look at this bum."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna support this."
And I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I think the fact that like some people are like doing something for free, like we're doing something for free, whether nobody's watching or there's 100 people watching, like we're still doing something. Where somebody who's just standing out there for 4 hours, it's like if you, that's again, I'm not trying to bash homelessness, but
No, I know what you're saying.
and I think that's why people are maybe sometimes weary of giving a homeless person money. I mean, I have, but it's like you're making $25 in 4 hours when you could have been working at Taco Bell for your 8 hours, make whatever the measly capitalist check that you get.
Oh, yeah, I guess, and a lot of people can't work, whether they're of their past or
Yeah,
medical condition. Whatever. I'm not trying to go down that road, but it's
Or
I just
they
think
don't
it's
have
like
an address, like you need an
Yeah.
address where we could send the check and a bank account. So a lot of people don't have bank accounts. It's like it's awful, but like asking for money, like, hey, support our art, our podcast, be like, hey, I'm a painter, like I'm an up and coming painter, and like I'm trying to sell some stuff. Like, can you buy my art or support my art? Maybe you don't have $100 to buy my painting, but if you could donate $5, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah.
someone doing something actively to pursue, whether it's a podcast, an artist career. Like I just saw on TikTok, someone's like, hey, I don't have a big budget. Like I'm doing this out of my room. Can you like support my song? It's like, at least they're doing something. Like they're putting out music. They're trying to do it organically.
Yeah, one of my fish buddies. This conversation reminds me of this. One of my fish buddies that I've met from like where I don't even really know where he's from, but I follow him on Twitter. And since COVID-19 started, one of like the hobbies that he started was making homemade pizzas. Like he makes the dough, makes the sauce, all this stuff, and he over the course of this pandemic got obsessed with it, like getting his dough perfect, and he's turning it into a business. And so he started like a Kickstarter, made like a video, and was like telling the stories. He's literally trying to open up a food truck, making personal pan wood-fired pizzas. And I was like, man, that's dope. Like, I didn't give him any money, but I shared it,
Yeah.
But dude, here, hold on. I want to take this back to us. I feel like I'm all over the place right now. We've been doing this podcast for 3 years.
Roughly, yeah. 2017.
We're right around 3 years, something like that. And not once have we done asked for anything.
No.
We haven't had any advertisers, nothing like that. So what if we do this? What if we set up a Patreon where people can support if they want to support? And let's look at this on a smaller scale. So we have multiple people that watch us every week, like whether it's 1 or whether it's 5, whatever. And so what if we opened it up to, I don't know how we would phrase this or position this, but see if you can get this idea from me explaining it. Like we just have like the people that are watching, if they want to get an ad on our podcast, we do their ad instead of like going through like an agency, instead of being like, Manscaped 3.0. Go to manscaped.com/bird and beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if we just did it with,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was about to make a joke. But
What?
I was gonna be like, your balls are so smooth.
Yeah. Like, you get people read ads. Like, I mean, they get
Yeah.
money for ads. What if we just open it up to, it's like, hey, if you're watching this and you have a small business or
Mhm.
whatever, and you want to, and we would just make it on a per, like, pay what you want basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
We can talk about it for sure
Yeah.
after the podcast.
Why not? But yeah, I definitely think we should set up a Patreon.
Yeah. And I'm not saying, because one of the things like you think about, and it's not like I'm not trying to say we got bad people who follow us. But like even with like it just being weary of like whose money we take, right? It's like, well,
that's the beauty of it, dude. We're
Yeah.
not tied in with an agency or anything like that. If
no,
someone's
what I'm
like,
saying, like if like everyone's like the fallout from the whole insurrection, everyone's like, well, I want my money back now. Like, you're a fucking racist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just being weary of like, do we support this person because we took their money? No. But again, that's a whole separate conversation down the road.
yeah, and I'll go ahead and tell you my thoughts on that. I'll tell you my thoughts on that right now. Fucking Donald Trump could walk through my door right now and say, "Hey, do you want $1,000?" And I would say, "Yes, leave it and get out." I'll take money from the devil, dude. If you're gonna give me money, I'll take it.
Yeah, but if you got to do an ad read for MAGA.com.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
see. I thought you were just talking about like taking money, but yeah, no. Yeah, no. See, I'm not gonna.
That's
if
what I'm
someone,
saying.
yeah.
Hey man, like here's $2,000, but can you support like sell some hats? Be like, no.
Oh yeah, that would be rough. That every time that I hear like one of those things, it's like, oh no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Everyone has a price for everything. So that's immediately where my head went. It's like with that scenario that I just created, I'm like, what if he just like kept raising the offer? It was just like, it gets to the point where it's like, dude, you got to get out of here because I'm gonna mess up.
I don't know.
$5 million for a 15-second read, would you do it?
For MAGA?
Yeah.
No.
10 million for a 10-second read, or just to wear like a piece of merch in the video. $10 million, one episode, you wear a MAGA hat.
No.
You wouldn't do it for 10 million?
Dude.
What about 20
My
million?
good conscience, no. There's no amount of money I would.
There's no amount of money?
No.
Dude,
there's no.
I'm with
like,
you.
In my good conscience, like I couldn't.
I'm with you on that because you get that 10 million, but that video lives forever.
Yeah.
And then you basically sold your
soul.
Well, no, you didn't sell your soul, but you sold your voice.
Yeah.
Like you can't be like,
yeah,
if he does something stupid,
that's
you can't be like, God, what a dumbass. And they're like, oh, remember you wore the hat, you took the money.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why everyone's like, now we're getting political, but all the people who are like, yo, like he's just like Geraldo. He's like, I didn't see it coming. It's like, bro, you were backing him for 5 years. Like, how did you not see it coming? Now that it's hurting your pockets, and everyone's like, well, he's a psychopath too. Geraldo is. It's like, you sold your soul. You sold your soul and your integrity, and no one like you're trying
to bring it back. We are gonna set up a Patreon, and we're gonna I've never really messed with it. Can we set up like a terms and conditions thing on there?
Yeah, I mean, I've never looked into Patreon, but everyone uses Patreon.
We'll look into it after this, and I don't know if there's like a thing where it's like Venmo, like where you can put like a message or anything like that. But we'll make it to where if you want us to do a read, we'll do a read within certain parameters, But yeah, we're just gonna set up a way for support for the podcast.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, I don't like the way this camera looks.
I like the way this camera looks better.
Really?
Yeah. It kind of sucks we can't see the Outcast, but
yeah.
And every week we're gonna have Andre 3 Stacks and Big Boy on the show with us.
And all my sweaters too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm open to getting a way to start getting some paper.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have anything else? I'm going through here real quick and seeing. Oh, this is amazing. Willie Nelson receives COVID-19 vaccine.
My man.
Dude,
did you see that article I sent you or on Twitter, by the way?
Which one?
Christopherson.
I don't remember. You sent me a lot of stuff. I don't know.
I do. It was just a funny story, and I was like, whoa. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up.
So
you said it was Chris Christopherson. What
so
about
it said Trump is currently in the Oval Office awarding the National Medal of Arts to singer Toby Keith and Ricky Skaggs minutes after becoming the first president to ever be impeached twice. And then somebody quote tweeted and was like, I'm reminded of this fascinating 2019 Rolling Stone profile of Chris Christopherson written by Ethan Hawke. Toby Keith was named as blinded as the star in this wild anecdote from Willie Nelson's 70th birthday concert. And apparently there's a story of like Chris Christopherson just going off on Toby Keith at Willie Nelson's birthday. And Willie Nelson was just like, don't piss him off, Toby. And like Chris Christopherson just went out. He said, Toby passed Chris Christopherson in the hallway, he said out of the corner of his mouth to Chris, none of that lefty shit out there tonight, Chris. And then Chris was like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And Willie was like, oh no, don't get Chris all riled up. And then he goes, hold on. And then Toby was like, you heard me. And then Chris Christopherson was like, don't turn your back on me, boy. And then Toby was like, I don't want any problems, Chris. I just want you to tone it down. And then Chris was like, have you ever worn a country's uniform? And then Toby was like, what? And then Chris was like, don't want me, boy. You heard the question. Like, you don't like the answer. You just don't want to answer. Dude, he's like, have you ever killed a man? And he's just like going off on Toby Keith because Chris Christopherson was in the Marines and he was like in Vietnam or something like that. And like, I was like, dude, if I came face to face with Chris Christopherson, like, I'd be terrified. Are you kidding me? This 80-year-old, just like rough, tough, like Chris Christopherson. He's probably a sweet man, but he looks like a grizzly bear.
I mean, I'll take any of them old heads.
You wouldn't beat Willie Nelson's ass.
I would have no reason to.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have no reason, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, Willie Nelson ain't going to whoop nobody's ass, even when he was in his 40s, man. But Chris Christopherson was a fucking giant. He's a giant dude. Like, even in his 40s, I could imagine Chris Christopherson, like, since he was a kid, was just like a massive human being.
But still, like, he's at whatever age he's at. Toby Keith is way younger. I mean,
yeah, but it's like, if we're talking about like respect, like Toby Keith ain't shit compared to Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about basic, like,
yeah, fighting. Okay.
Shut up, old man.
Yeah. Oh, and then he said, he ended the conversation. He said, oh, Chris Christopherson leaned back against the wall, still vibrating with adrenaline. He looked over at Willie to say, don't say a word. Then his eyes found me, which is Ethan Hawke. And he said, you know what Waylon Jennings said about guys like him? He whispered. And Ethan Hawke was like, no. He said, they're doing to country music what Pantyhose did to finger fucking.
Dude,
imagine Chris Christopherson.
That is an epic quote.
Dude, imagine Chris Christopherson saying that about another country singer. Like, he's a pussy.
Whoa. He won that one.
Chris Christopherson.
I mean, I guess he didn't say it to his face. It would have been
still, though,
way cooler if he did.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude, I don't know anything about Toby Keith. I had to look up what he looked like. I was like, who is Toby Keith? Like, I know the name.
Oklahoma, dude.
I know his name, but I don't know what he looks like.
I don't know if he still does, but he used to own land in Pauls Valley, where I'm from.
Huh.
Yeah. He's from Moore, Oklahoma, which is the city that literally gets wiped out like every 5 to 10 years by a tornado. So he's from there, and on the water tower, it's like this big white water tower, and it says "Home of Toby Keith." If someone from Oklahoma is watching right now, please verify that, because I'm really good at just making shit up.
Or I can just Google it. Toby
I'm
Keith.
99.9% sure that that's a real thing.
He's from Clinton, Oklahoma.
What?
Hold on. Let me
Type in Toby Keith water tower. I swear to God, it was in Moore. See, that's what I'm saying. I make stuff up. I have all these throughout my life. I have all these things in my head, and I don't know what's
more. Home of Toby Keith.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not tripping.
No,
I knew it.
After the family moved to Moore, Keith attended Highland West Junior High and Moore High School, where he played defensive end.
Got it. Okay, I'm just glad I'm not going crazy.
He was born in Clinton, Oklahoma.
Clinton.
All right. Well, I think
cool. Yeah, you got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. Next week we will have a Patreon or something set up so you can give us all your money.
Help us flip some stuff.
Well, I guess this wouldn't count with the flip challenge because we're only using the 600.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
Next week we'll be back, same time, same place. I want to know, and real quick, I know we've done this before, but every week we have at least one person watching on Twitch. Are you the same? Because it doesn't tell us who you are, because we're not on Twitch right now per se. We're on StreamYard. But just who do we know you on Twitch, or did you just find us on Twitch? Or were you already a fan? Are you a new fan?
Are you a bot?
Who are you? We just want to know you. So we can send you the link to our Patreon. I kid. All right. We'll be back next week.